They gave me a title. They said I was the general manager.
Which meant what?
Well, it meant that I had to invent the job, and it was at that moment in time that Alpert and the Tijuana Brass had just released their first record, and there were sales and airplay, and there was an opportunity there. So I saw my first job and as helping put together a band that would go on the road and perform and promote the sound of the Tijuana Brass, and that all sort of fell into place and worked very well. We were operating through independent promotion people, obviously, and independent distributors, where those independent promotion people were not as we know them to be today, or they were in recent times. But you really had to stay on top of your local distributor, whether they were in Portland, Seattle, Phoenix, or whatever, and that was with your inventory, with selling, with promoting, and we were hiring people, and I eventually gave up the very quickly gave up the day-to-day Tijuana Brass management to a management company. And there was a company called Tijuana Brass Enterprises that was formed, and we worked through that. So it was hugely successful. I don't know whether you know that. I mean, I was reading something the other day. Recall the Tijuana Brass outsold the Beatles in that moment in time, and it became very quickly an international act. So, I mean, we had sales in Europe and Australia and Japan. So there was, a real recognition of that sound. It was unique. The way the role changed was that with additional people, staff, there were more people to manage, and there was more of an operation to on a day-to-day basis to run. And so I think Jerry and Herb gave me the title of, vice president or something like that. But it very quickly grew. And in, I think it would have been in 1970, maybe 69, we bought the old Charlie Chaplin Studios on La Brea, and that became an important part of the A&M mystique, if I can use that word. It had a history, obviously, the studio, and it had a real comfort. People felt good just driving on the lot, and the staff was housed in different buildings, some of them pretty old, in fact, kind of decrepit. But everybody was comfortable there, and potential artists and acts would come on the lot, and they just liked the atmosphere. So it was something that became part of our story and a selling point. Not to mention the great history of success.